If you are looking for a suspenseful, unique horror story that keeps you guessing after each and every scene, listen, today's going to be an awesome day for you. Because a couple of months ago, awesome dude by the name of Jason Christopher Mayer reached out to us about his newest and upcoming film, The Sound. So if you're new here, I'm Brad.
I'm Miguel.
And welcome to Let's Talk Movies. This is our full spoiler-free review of The Sound. The Sound is a short horror film written by Jason Christopher Mayer and Gage Golightly, directed by Jason Christopher Mayer, and starring Emree Franklin as Allison and Sabrina Stull as Lily. The official plot synopsis reads, 2 years after a woman experiences sudden hearing loss, strange things begin to happen. And I gotta tell you, things get very strange very, very quickly in this film.
It gets
but
weird.
I like it. It does. We get weird, and I like it. Okay, it's a really, really fun film to watch. I had a good time watching it, and even though it is a short film, runtime is just under 6 minutes, I believe. It's kind of somewhere in that 6-minute range. We managed to fit a lot in 6 minutes. You know what I mean? There's a lot that happens in this film. And as you all know, anytime that we're reviewing something, I like to start off with my biggest compliment. And my biggest compliment to The Sound is that it's extremely intriguing right from the get-go. Like, from the time that we're initially introduced to these characters, again, even for a 6-minute film, they have depth, they have very obvious chemistry. It seems that they have a very unique connection that sets the scene, literally, for this story and kind of the events of what's about to happen, and it makes the events of this story, again, I don't want to go into spoilers territory too much, but it makes the events of this story kind of mean that much more. And like, you know, kind of like we said before, I don't want to tease too much here, but very, very strange things do begin to happen, like 30 seconds into the film. like we waste zero time. And many of these things are things that kind of make you go, what? Like, what the hell is this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So it was really interesting.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that part. Literally within 30 seconds, we already like jump out the back, like right out the gate of just setting the tone for what we will, come to see in like 6 minutes, dog, of like absolute fucking like unease. It was just uneasy throughout the entire fucking 6 minutes. And that's something that's very hard to do in like even feature length films without like giving away too much. So props to him for pretty much setting like a mood that's really hard to come by in feature length films in under 6 minutes. I mean, after credits it's about 6 minutes, but like, yeah, this is literally almost like a 5 and something change minute movie.
Yeah.
And right from the get-go, this film is, I'm so glad you told me this is spoiler free, because I was so about to spoil the shit out of this movie. About to. I'm
glad that you said, like, I mean, you're exactly right, dude, in that like many feature films fail to make you feel that uneasy. And again, the fact that a lot of what's happening makes absolutely zero sense until there was one moment, like, let me tell you, there's a twist about a third of the way through the film that literally made me pause it and go, oh.
That's minute 250.
Oh, like, this is that kind of film. Like, we're going here. Like, we're I was like, oh, okay, this is completely like based on what I knew from the few times that I've chatted over email with Jason, and the type of film that I thought this was going to be. Like, I don't know, I had envisioned this going a very different direction than it did, but I loved that about it. I love the fact that so many of the twists and so much of what's happening doesn't exactly make much sense, because that plays into that uneasy feeling where you're going, what? Like, you're trying to get a read for what's happening. And like, I texted Miguel as soon as I watched it, and I said, dude, take any of your expectations and throw them out the window. Like, because you're not going to be able to guess what happens in this film. Like,
I pretty much
it's
did
very interesting
at that point. Yeah. And I'd say like from what I could tell from what Brad has told me and what from my what I've been able to gather. Sorry, J Did. I definitely came into this movie thinking a completely different storyline. I'd say
Yeah.
there's so many different horror tropes and themes that I was expecting in this, and honestly, in under 6 minutes, I mean, he definitely threw out all my expectations, but it was still definitely a decent or pretty great 5 minute ride that I had. I gotta
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
I love where he went with it. I'm not gonna lie, I love this type of film right here, and this type of genre or this decision that he did or this route that he decided to take. I personally I like this part of the this way that this direction that he went in this 6 minute film. So props to him, and I'm excited for you guys to check it out. It's definitely one that you guys need to see. I don't
Yes.
know. I'm very fortunate that I even got to do like a early screening. I never had a fucking early screening.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
mean,
fucking
this is
dope.
awesome
So thank
that
you,
Jason
man.
allowed us to view the
Yeah.
film before it released. But you know, like I said, I love the fact that it makes you think of so many different scenarios, and then
Hmm.
it just blindsides you with a couple of twists in this thing that are just absolutely mind blowing. Like again,
Hmm.
I kept trying to figure out what was happening, and then it just completely like 360s you from anything that you could have ever imagined. And I mean, obviously, like we're not going to spoil the ending of the film, but I'll say this: it left me with my jaw on the floor. Like I was utterly shocked at how this thing ended. It
I
left
had
me
to help
wanting
put it
so
back up.
much more. You know, I mean, like it's very similar to what happens in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974, where the movie just kind of like builds and builds and builds and builds and
Oh.
builds until it's like there's so like the pressure is too intense. Like it's almost like you can't take it anymore,
Hmm.
and then it just stops. And it takes all of the wind out of your sails, and then it doesn't give you any time to process it. That's just it. Roll credits. And, you know, like the sound is a very quick but very effective horror story that not only maintains a really, really creepy, disturbing atmosphere,
Hmm.
but it also manages to keep you guessing throughout the entire movie. So this is one that definitely gets a thumbs up from me. And that's not all. Jason has very, very graciously agreed to join us for a live show, the 99th episode of Let's Talk Movies this Wednesday at 8 p.m. to talk all things the sound. We're going to have a great time hanging out, chatting with Jason. So we thank him for his time, and I'll leave the link to that show in the description below so that you can go ahead and set a reminder for yourself. So the sound is available now on Alter's YouTube channel, Samsung TV, and Roku. We highly, highly
Shout out to the
encourage you
Rokus.
to go and check it out for yourself. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
You will be feared.
So, guys, new episodes of our shows premiere every single Tuesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at LTM Podcast KY. You can be sure to leave this episode a like, and we'll leave us a comment if after you watch the film. Let us know what you thought of it, and be sure to tune in Wednesday night when we're hanging out with Jason and talking with him. So, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Peace.